Good morning, everybody. Lenora Collins here with Inspire, Love, Empower Each Other. I have joining me this morning the beautiful Mrs. Samantha Laycock with Beautiful Box, and she's got a sidekick today, so we get a special extra little guest. This is Miss Izzy. So take it away, Sam. Why don't you tell the watchers and viewers, not watchers, I guess, tell the viewers and listeners who you are, what you do, and we'll start from there.
Perfect. Hi, I'm Samantha. I am owner of Beautiful Box, like Lenora already mentioned. Beautiful Box is a subscription box for women. So I basically started this when in May of 2016, it just kind of came to me while I was sleeping. I was trying to break into the life coaching business, and I found that I was having a very hard time reaching the clients that I wanted. I wasn't getting the demographic and who I wanted to reach, and I wasn't making the impact that I wanted to. And so I went to bed one night and it just popped in my head. I wrote it down, and it basically came where I wanted to use products from small businesses. So it wasn't like the other bigger subscription boxes that are out there like FabFitFun, where they use bigger, well-known businesses. This was really to start by supporting other small local businesses, because that is one thing Airdrie is very well known for, and they are very supportive in supporting other local businesses. So I work with handmade items. So it's not the direct sale. It's none of the MLM companies. That wasn't something that fit with what my goal was. So I just put it out there, and I went on one of the Facebook moms groups, and I was like, hey, this is my idea. Are there any businesses that want to work with me? And I had like between 10 and 15 small businesses message me. So then it just kind of took off from there. And the ones that were with me in the beginning are luckily still with me, so they will be showcased. Now I've done it where I've expanded, where I've had businesses from Ontario. Wow. September is British Columbia boxes. So I will hopefully have other provinces as well.
So what kind of things, tell the viewers and listeners, what kind of things do you get in a box? Like, is it the same every month? Is it different? Is there like 4 items? Is there always like a specific number of items? And kind of what are they?
So how it works is the boxes are always different. I really try to find products that are not the same. And normally it's anywhere between 4 and 6 products, because how I do it is I still pay the small businesses that are in the box. I still buy their product. So I support the businesses. So I still need to be able, that's why there's such a difference between 4 and 6 products, because it really comes down to what I can get the products for, because I do not want these small businesses to lose money.
Awesome.
So the main reason is they support, but then they also hopefully get long time repeat customers. Mm-hmm. And I know that they
get exposed to a different market, right? Like they get
and
different people that you know versus who maybe don't know of them yet. So it's something.
Yeah, because I mean, really, small businesses don't have an advertising budget. So this is their way to really reach people that might not even know they exist. Awesome. So that is a huge benefit to being in the box.
Well, I know last year at Christmas, my family participated in the box because I thought, Holy Christmas, like seriously, that's kind of a catchphrase of mine if you know Lenora, but
yep.
Holy Christmas. I got my dad a box, I got Paul a box, and I got the boys a box, because at Christmas time, Samantha has boxes themed towards men, and it's like for those hard to buy dudes in your life, right? And my dad still uses his great big latte cup. He doesn't drink lattes, but he drinks coffee. So my dad loves it because it's so big and so much coffee in it. And it was fantastic. So I know we've participated and done that, and it's a wonderful service. So keep up.
Yeah, and I like doing the specialty boxes. It's fun because I did a Father's Day box as well, and that was a huge hit. I think I sold 15 of them. So that was on top of the normal women's box that I do. So I'm doing the same thing for Christmases, where I'm going to do a kid's box, a men's box, a women's box. And so.
And then you also have party boxes too, right? Like you do parties or?
I do a girls' night in. So it's basically think like a paint night. Yeah, are you telling everybody too?
Yeah.
It's really like a paint night, but I come to you. So I bring the appetizers. I bring a bottle of wine for the hostess, and then I bring goodies that the girls can shop through. So they get, I try and bring between 6 and 8 items.
Awesome.
And then they get to pick 5 of them. So they get to choose, they get to shop from the local products and really decide and build their own box. So then we do that. And I also have another local business that comes with me, and they get to make their own product. So they get a product from that business as well as a build your own box from me.
Wow, that's just a fantastic service. Absolutely amazing.
Yes, they're a blast.
Getting into what I'm doing this Let's Talk series, and thank you so much for being a guest on my Let's Talk series, because
thank you.
You're welcome. I would like to open up conversations and just really get people talking, and especially specifically around some things that normally are hard kind of issues or hard things to talk about. So my first question to you this morning would be, if you could start a conversation about anything, what would you like to talk about?
Oh, goodness. I'm going to say, because it was such a difficult for me in my past, and one of the reasons I started Beautiful Box was when I was 18, so back in 2003, I was raped when I was attending university.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I think that is such a huge unspoken topic, because people feel, I mean, for me, I didn't speak about it I didn't tell anybody for 11 years. So, I mean, I think it's a topic that has so much shame with it that shouldn't. It's something that should not be filled with shame, but it is. So that to me is a big topic for me that I want to get out there and say, it's okay, and it wasn't you that did it. So that's my passion. That's what I like to talk about.
Okay, sounds like it's part of your healing. That's a healing thing for you to kind of to talk about it and whatnot. And that's an awful thing to have happen to you. And I know, I hate to say this, but you're not alone. Like, that's happened to a lot of women.
Yes.
And this is the whole point of this series, is to kind of have those difficult conversations, a safe place to talk and get support, and, not publicly, I guess. Well, this is public, but to get support privately, because a lot of people don't need to, I'm going to rephrase that. A lot of people don't want to share online or don't want to share things, and that's okay, because not everyone is like that. And it's fine. Everyone's unique and individual.
Yep.
Now, would like to ask you, do you have a support group, or where do you go when you want to talk? And I know you're very vocal and very open about it publicly, but for the women that aren't, like, that's the...
I originally, I did start a support group in Airdrie. I haven't been running it for the last couple months. I found that I was having a very hard time getting it out there, and it is a subject that people don't want to come to. I think it comes down to, once someone comes once, they'll come back, but it's getting them there that first time that is really, really difficult. Luckily for me, my husband has been a huge support in the whole,
that's amazing to hear that.
with everything, because I met him about a year and a half after it had happened. So he was really with me through the nasty part of the healing and getting over it and working through everything. So unfortunately, throughout our entire relationship, it's been there. And I think even for him, it's hard for me to share my story, because I don't think he's at that healing part yet.
Mm-hmm.
He's not ready for that, but I am, right? So it's so hard, especially when you have 2 people in a relationship. It's hard, especially when you're at different healing points, because he wasn't with me when it happened, but he was there through the bad stuff. So he still has to heal, right? So that way it's difficult. I I guess I've never really talked to a specific person about it. It wasn't until I until I had Izzy. So she's my third. I had Izzy and I had postpartum depression. It hit me when she was about 3 months old. And I have started seeing a psychologist. And so
Good for you. Good for you.
yeah, so she was really the one to bring up that I probably still have lingering feelings left.
But
that
you're
I
dealing
really have.
with them and you're
I
addressing
am.
them, right?
Yep.
So,
So she
you're
is a safe
working
spot.
through that.
Yeah. So she is a safe spot because she doesn't know my history. So it's nice to speak to someone. It's always easy. I find it's always easier to talk to someone you don't know. Right? Because there are people like my family, they know my history, they know my background. I didn't need them chiming in for who I used to be, right? I needed someone that had no history of who I was, that didn't know me at all. She can give me a clear way to deal with things and really focus on my healing versus, well, this is how you used to deal with it, right? So I needed that
some new
unbiased.
tools in your toolbox, right?
Yes.
Some new tools in order for you to pull out and utilize when you need. So it sounds to me that this was very helpful for you. Now, if somebody listening or watching has experienced this horrific event, what would you suggest to do? Like, what would you, what kind of steps would you give them to, where could they go to get help?
I say just me. I mean, really, I don't mind if people contact me directly because I get it. I understand the turmoil, right? It's hard to go somewhere, and that's why I never reported it, right? Because it was to the point where I was raised as a Catholic, so it was no sex before marriage. It was like no drinking, none of this, and that was my background. So when it happened, I thought it was my fault, right? You internalize it all, that somehow I brought it on, somehow it was what I did to make it happen. So that's why I kind of held onto it for so long. So I recommend reaching, like, even with how I reached out for my postpartum depression was I was in my bedroom. It was like 2:00 in the morning and Izzy was sleeping and I couldn't. So I was bawling. And luckily my doctor's office, which probably nowadays most doctor's offices have a Facebook group or a Facebook page. I messaged that Facebook page because I knew if I didn't do it in that moment, in the morning, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't message someone.
Courageous. Wow. Look at how far you've come. I mean, just to even recognize that, I'd like to celebrate you, Samantha.
Thank you.
Because just to recognize that, okay, I need to ask for help and I need to ask now because in the morning I'll have slept and I'm like, it's not that bad. But then it would just keep coming and coming and coming, right?
Yes.
Broke that cycle, so to speak. So that's so brave for doing that.
So, and luckily someone was on the other end right away.
Oh, wow.
So
awesome.
They messaged me back like a minute later and
what
was
a great idea. I would have never thought the doctor's offices would have support groups and pages.
Yeah. So it was fantastic and they got me in right away. And she basically made it feel like there was no shame because there isn't. So you have to remember that there is, and it's hard to remember. I know that it's hard to remember, but you also have to remember you're not alone. There's so many people out there, so many women and men that have dealt with this and that are dealing with this, that you are not alone. And there are so many people out there that are willing to listen.
And share, right? And then you're helping each other. So
yes. So it's really just taking the first step is really getting out there and having someone listen. Social media is such a huge part of our lives now that that's really the easiest place to go. There are mom support groups that even I'm part of one, and there was an instance that someone actually posted that they were having a hard time dealing with it, and I said, send me a message. And that's how you get it out there. There's somebody in that group that is going to know what you're going through and that will be there to listen to you. They don't live anywhere near me, but it's nice that I can have that connection and that I can be that one that they can just blurt it all out, right? Because that's sometimes what you need. You just need to just get it out, and you don't need to hear, well, this is what you should do, right? Because people don't want advice all the time, especially when it comes to a sexual assault. People don't want to hear what you need to do. People don't want to know.
I would imagine, too, that it's also healing for yourself, like both of you, right? Because you're exchanging information, and it's like a common bond. Unfortunate that you have that common bond, but that common bond that kind of, it opens up that safety place, and that I understand, I empathize where you're coming from, because I've been there. You're not sympathetic to them, feeling sorry for them, but you've been there, so you've done. Yeah. Now, what actions do you take every day to get talking about issues that are important to you?
I personally have my Facebook group, and I actually have a few different ones. I have one that's for women, that's just a safe place. We can talk about whatever we want. And then I have one specific for sexual assault survivors. That is a closed group, just because I know it's a very sensitive topic. So I know some of the women there obviously don't want people to know they're in the group. So I have that as well. And really, it's my social media. That is how I get it out there, and my blog. I write my blog. And that was one of the reasons I started my blog to begin with, was because that's how I told the world what had happened in 2014. So
yeah, that's good for you. You're just a courageous, very brave woman, and you're changing the lives of many, not only just yourself, but you're also changing the lives of somebody that could use a hand up. And, in the interim, when she reaches out to you, you both get this support, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing that. Now, my next question would be, where do you see yourself next month?
Oh, next month, huh? Well, that'll be October, huh? Already?
I know, right? It seems so quick to just get back to school.
I know. September's an exciting month for me, because I have a workshop with you, which we'll talk about later. Absolutely. But then I also have my first public speaking event. So I'm hoping that in October I'll have another one booked.
Super. Way to put it out there.
Yeah, that is my goal. My goal is to really start talking about my story and impacting the others that have the same story.
Aww, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So before we get into any of that stuff about next month, I'd like to ask you to finish up my question part of my interview. What are your hobbies?
Oh, my hobbies. Oh, boy. Yes, because that, of course, is something I recommend everybody have. So my hobbies are, I love to read. I'm a big reader. My whole family is a big reader. My kids love to read.
I love books. That's awesome.
I do. Honestly, I wish I had a library in itself in my home, because that would be my safe place.
What's your favorite book?
Oh, well, that's so hard.
Or what's your favorite book right now, like that you've kind of resonated with recently?
One of my favorite books, not recently, I used to volunteer on the board for a women's shelter, and The War on Women is a book that every woman must read. It is very sad, but it gives you a lot of facts. It might be a bit outdated now.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I have it here somewhere. Yeah, so I don't have the pretty cover on it anymore. It's just a gray book.
Who's the author?
The author is, it's funny because it's a man.
That's ironic, right?
Brian, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce his last name right. Okay. So Brian Valet. And it was written, what year was it actually even written in? 2007. So I guess it's not, I'm sure the stats might be a bit off now, but it really focuses on, it makes comparisons to how we talk about so many lives lost in the war on terror, and all, like soldiers' lives and all that. But the sad part is more women lose their lives daily to an abusive partner than soldiers have lost their lives. Wow. It brings stats that are just like, wow, right? That the normal person would not know, just because it's not something that is advertised or on the news every day. So that's one of my favorite all-time books. The one I'm reading now is I Am Falling in Love With, and that is The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari.
Oh yes, I've read that. That's an awesome book.
I think I'm on chapter 6, so I just started it, but it is a phenomenal book. So
it's going to be life-changing, girlfriend. I absolutely love that book.
I'm in love, and then I guess the other one is The Shack.
The Shack. I don't think I've heard of that one. Is that a fiction or is that a true story?
It is. You know what? I honestly don't know, but it's W.M. Paul Young is the author. There's actually a movie based on it now.
Okay.
But that is also like you will be in tears. It's about a father losing a child and what he went through, right? Just spiritually and what he needed to work past it. And so definitely another must-read book. It will have you bawling, but it is worth it. And then I like to write. I'm a big writer, so I do my blog. I journal every day. That's really my two big hobbies.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for
nothing exciting.
That.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to also, my last question for you, Samantha, is what makes you unique?
I'm honest. I let people see the real me. Oh, are you getting grumpy now? Hey? I let people see my real life and what goes on. I don't hide. I don't hide my flaws. I don't try and show people that my life is perfect, because it is anywhere far from perfect.
Right?
Yeah, but especially in social media age, people only want you to see that part, right? They only want you to see that life is perfect and we don't fight with our spouses and we don't do this. But that's not who I am. I fight every day with my spouse.
But you also love him hard too.
We have been married 11 years, so I mean, really.
Yeah.
But I let people in and I let them really see who I am, and that's not who I used to be. If you would have met me, we moved to Airdrie in 2014, so if you would have known me in 2013, I would not be who I am today. So people would probably have no idea who I was. I was the girl that walked with her head down, hiding who I was, and I've realized that that's kind of useless. So.
Oh, well, you're a beautiful person inside and out, and you crack me up every single flipping day. Like, I love working with you. I love collaborating with you. You're just amazing, and you've been keeping me going from our live video. I swear to God, I need somebody on here if you know how to do videos and cut out a certain clip of a video, because I need to make a meme of something that Samantha said. It's been hilarious, and it just keeps repeating and repeating in my head. So thank you very much, Samantha, for taking the time today to join me and join the listeners and viewers in on this experience, on having those difficult conversations, on opening up and sharing what you're about. That you just touched my heart so much. Just thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
And it just so happens that we're actually hosting an event this week together. So
yes.
Do you want to talk about that? And then we can kind of
Sure. I am so excited for Friday. I really am.
Me too. It's going to be amazing.
We are doing our Discover Your Inner Goddess workshop. So basically we are doing, the first part is self-love. So that will be me speaking. And then the second is Lenora and her wonderful talking about, what are you talking about?
Language and communication, the words you use and how it affects your life.
Yes, and I love that because self-love is so about words, the words that we use every day, right? So it's going to be awesome. So every woman that comes gets a goodie bag. They get a mini photo shoot with Anna Miller from Dynamic Eye Photography, which is phenomenal. I love Anna.
Let's just stop and talk about Anna for a minute, because seriously, people, if you haven't checked out at Dynamic Eye Photography, you absolutely need to. This woman has amazing talents behind the camera. She's got an eye like nobody's business. And let me tell you, I'm 41 years old, and by personal experience, She took a picture of me in a dress that I had bare arms. Now, anyone that knows me, look online, I dare you. You will never find a picture of me with bare arms. I just don't do it. It's not something that I feel very comfortable about, having my arms bare. And she was able to bring me out of that, and I posted the picture, and you can find it on my Facebook page. And I'm telling you, the woman has a unique eye, and she's got a heart of gold. She's so kind, loving, caring, and is dang ass talented at what she does. So,
oh yes, Anna's been my go-to. She does all my event photos. She photographed my launch party. She photographed the women empowerment photo shoot I did with Lenora, and how many other women were there? Six, seven?
7 of us. Yeah, there was 7.
Yeah, 7 other women.
Yeah.
She did that, and then she also took my family photos, which turned out just phenomenal.
Spectacular. It looks like it could be in a damn magazine. Like,
yes, unreal. Oh yeah, and I have a boudoir shoot with her coming up. So,
ooh, sexy.
I know, I'm so excited. So Anna G. Miller with Dynamic Eye Photography is seriously the up-and-coming thing.
She absolutely is. And I'm telling you, people, at our seminar on Friday, this workshop that we're hosting, you get 2 or 3 pictures from her. That alone is over $100 value. And you know what? Seriously, like, our tickets are $40. So you spend $40, you get fed, you get taught, you get an inspirational group of women together. We're making a vision board. We have a lot of other tricks and up our sleeve too that you get that we're not going to share with everyone, because you have to attend to participate.
Yep.
And, you know, obviously we're not going to sell the farm, right? We're not going to tell you everything, but Samantha and I have really put our minds together, our hearts and our souls, and we've poured love into this so hard that when you come out of it, like, you come out with a vision board, with a goodie bag, and the next 3 people to buy tickets, you also get an extra goodie bag. So you get 2, plus your professional photographers, plus a new group of women, plus. So I think an
really the most important part out of all of that are the connections you're going to make. It really is. You're going to walk out having this tribe of women that understand, that know what you're going through, and that are ready to help you kick ass in whatever it is you're doing. I mean, and that's what it comes down to, is we want to be that support system, and we want to show every woman that self-love is possible, and that empowerment is just the next step after that you got both of this, and it is easy. It's not, I don't want to say it's easy to attain, but it's possible to attain.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And thank you so much for inviting me to co-host with you and Beautiful Box, and have me put my energy into this as well. I really appreciate that so much.
Thank you.
So
it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And wrapping it up, I'd like to how can the viewers get a hold of you? Like, how can the viewers and listeners, how can they get a hold of Mrs. Samantha Laycock?
Well, I have lots of ways. You can email me. Do you want me to share all of it, or do you just want me to? Okay, perfect.
People listening, they can grab a pen and paper. They can write it down. I can always give it to you, but let's hear it from your
of course,
their ears.
Yeah, so you can always email me at samantha.laycock, and it's exactly how it sounds, is how it's spelled, 22@outlook.com. I have my Facebook business page, which I obviously am on every day. That is facebook.com/delivering self-love. I have a Facebook group, which I also am in every day, and that is just Beautiful You. And what else?
Instagram or anything like that?
I have Instagram, yes, and my name on Instagram is beautiful_box.
Okay.
So those are the main.
Whoop, whoop. I'm sorry, I could never talk about Samantha without making a dirty joke. And
it's funny because my husband said the same thing last night in the car. So.
Well, I'm glad that Richard and I, we're on the same wavelength. I knew I should have been a dude. I swear to God, if I hadn't grown 2 babies, some days I think I am, but no good.
So, yeah, those are the best ways to contact me, and my phone number is on my business page as well.
Okay, super. Well, thanks again. I'm going to let you go. Tend to your beautiful little Izzy. Tell her,
right there.
Smooches. my girl. You're supposed to be napping.
She's supposed to be napping.
Thank you again, Samantha, so much for taking the time out of your busy, hectic schedule. She's a mom of 3 children. She's busy. She's always there to lend a hand and help you out. And she means it when she says people get a hold of her. She'll talk to you. You know what? She'll make time. Like, she's just an amazing human. And thanks again for being a part of my Let's Talk series. And I look so forward to Friday. It's gonna
I
be
know. I'm
awesome.
like counting down the days. It's like Christmas. That's what it feels like.
It is. Because especially I'm like, shoot, how do I get in on the goodie bag? I was like,
maybe we'll make extras for ourselves.
okay, sounds good. All right. Well, thank you so much, Samantha. And I look forward to seeing you on Friday.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.